So just to be clear, the Nazis could have been right in their actions, in your view.
That implies that right is an actual thing. I don't believe you can determine a truth value from a moral claim.
So the Nazis were not objectively evil.
Yeah, I've said that like 4 times. Like, yeah, you can't derive objective moral statements from, like, things. I'm not saying they're not wrong. Like, they are wrong.
Well, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
No, I just want to make sure this is important, because what you are saying, and you're saying it very clearly, is that we look at the Holocaust and it's just a matter of opinion.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem of being an atheist.
What happens when a student tries to dismantle objective morality, only to get dismantled himself? This wasn't a clash of beliefs. It was a masterclass in exposing philosophical collapse. A young atheist tried to corner Charlie Kirk with moral relativism and ended up defending the indefensible. This one cuts deep. Let's break it down.
Yeah, so I've seen you like talk a lot about like objective morality, and my big question is, it feels like you can make good statements and bad statements without referencing some kind of like moral book. So I can say like something is good, right? I had a good day today, and it doesn't really feel like I need to reference religion for that. So can you explain to me why you think we need to have some kind of absolute standard for like morality?
Excellent question. It's really good. If you say you have a good day, are you describing the experience you had, or was it morally a good day?
So yeah, it would be a good day. So I can like narrow it down more, I guess. Or I can ask, I guess, like a better question. So if I don't have religion, right? Let's say I am an atheist or something, and I were to go up to, I find like 2 books. One's the Quran, and then one is the Bible. And I read both of them, and then I have a feeling of preference towards one or the other. That makes me feel like morality probably isn't objective, because I read 2 moral codes, I didn't have one before, and then I derived one after reading it.
But one is true.
Well, yeah, obviously you're going with the presupposition that one is true. But
so
like,
let's play this out. Not sorry to interrupt. If I'm on an island, and let's just demystify part of this, and there's the Bible, and then there's Lord of the Rings, and I end up believing in one of those, which is true.
Well, what's true is just what corresponds with reality. We're talking about...
I agree.
Right from the start, Charlie spots the weakness. This student isn't making moral claims. He's describing moods. Saying, "I had a good day," isn't the same as saying, "Murder is wrong." One is personal. The other is moral. But here's the twist. The student thinks his gut feelings are enough. Kirk doesn't just challenge that. He destroys it with reality-based examples. Lord of the Rings isn't the Bible, and feelings aren't facts.
So which one has evidence, and when applied in the natural world actually shows a flourishing people and society and a way to live? Because you would agree, at least out of 8 out of 10 of the 10 Commandments, they're pretty good rules for life,
No,
right?
yeah, 100%.
Of course, yes.
No, but
so
the thing that I'm talking about doesn't have to do with whether or not Christianity is good or bad, or whether I agree with most of... Yeah, it's just regarding like, yeah, one can be true, but even if one is true, it doesn't really feel like I'm influenced in terms of what I feel is good or bad, because obviously, there are people who are Muslim who have read, the Bible and still are more persuaded by Islam.
No, of course. I mean, you could be persuaded by anything, right? That doesn't... I believe that there is a transcendent way of living. I call that the Bible, right? And I believe it's the perfect catalog from creation to the end of the world. You don't have to agree with that. I'm talking strictly from a moral sense. So let's just ask a separate...
This is where Charlie tightens the screws. The student admits he can prefer one book over another, but that preference doesn't make it true. Exactly. That's the point. Truth exists outside of your feelings. Kirk is building the case that objective morality isn't just useful. It's necessary for civilization to survive.
Do you think people are naturally, outside of, religious teaching, good or not so good? The nature of humanity.
The nature. I wouldn't be comfortable making a statement about it.
Fair enough, and I appreciate that. So we believe, as Christians or those in the space, human beings are pretty awful, okay? That we're broken, that we're sinful, that we fall short of the glory of God, and that we need to teach people how to be good. A common left-wing belief is that human beings are actually awesome, and they're terrific, and the reason why things are not so good is because of capitalism or the patriarchy or feminism or whatever. So you're asking a question of, why do we need objective morality? Well, or what specifically?
Yeah, so not necessarily why we need objective morality, but you seem to be, because obviously I don't believe that it's a thing. but you seem to make the claim that
Do you believe that absolutely?
No.
Okay, good.
But
you're consistent.
yeah, the big thing is for me, even if I have a God, there is no thing telling me, like, you know, it's just like the is-ought problem, right? That's like my big contention, right? How am I ever going to derive a claim about what I should do from only statements about the nature of being?
Got it. So you would believe murder's wrong?
Yeah.
Why do you believe that?
Because in its definition, it says it's wrong, right? It's wrong killing of somebody, or at least that's my understanding of it.
Okay, so...
This is a mic drop moment. Charlie doesn't just argue against the student. He contrasts entire worldviews. One says people are flawed and need guidance. The other says people are angels corrupted by capitalism. But only one of those views can explain genocide, murder, and cruelty across history. And it's not the one that says we're all born good.
I mean, so for example, you go to an African village, happens all the time. They leave a full-born baby by the fire. They don't want it. They discard it. Happens tons of times. Any missionary will tell you that. They just discard babies. Why? They don't believe it's wrong. It's just in their code and custom. No one feels bad about it. Just discard kids you don't want. Are they wrong?
For me, yeah, they're wrong. Yeah. It's a bullet I do have to bite for my worldview.
Hold on. Are they objectively wrong? Is it objective?
No. Because I don't believe in objective morality. So that can apply to any
statement. So
statement.
it's not objectively wrong to leave a full-born baby by the fire and just say you're on your own, have a nice life.
Well, yeah, I'm calling into question objective morality. So I obviously have to
No, I know.
that
I'm
bullet.
just trying to make you hear back how insane what you are saying.
Well, you're making a claim about the objectivity of it.
No,
you're
I know.
Not making a claim about
let's
obviously, I think it's wrong.
Let's get more graphic. So you put
Okay.
you put 1,000 Jews in a gas chamber, and the Nazis thought what they were doing was good, and they pressed the button. Were they right or were they wrong in gassing millions of Jews?
Objectively, you can't, like, when you say, is it objectively wrong? Hold on, wait. If you say it's objectively wrong, you're implying that you can derive a truth value from it. And I don't think you can. So I don't think that you can make a true statement regarding whether something's good or bad.
Got it. So just to be clear, the Nazis could have been right in their actions, in your view.
That implies that right is an actual thing. I don't believe you can determine a truth value from a moral claim.
So the Nazis were not objectively evil.
Yeah, I've said that like 4 times. Like, yeah, you can't derive objective moral statements from, like, things. I'm not saying they're not wrong. Like, they are wrong. Oh.
Well, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
No, I just want to make sure this is important, because what you are saying, and you're saying it very clearly, is that we look at the Holocaust and it's just a matter of opinion.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem of being an atheist. You have to bite the bullet.
I respect your intellectual clarity, and I will say...
And obviously, for clarity,
No.
I obviously think the Holocaust is wrong. So
No,
if anyone's questioning about
but
that,
it's just your opinion. I believe that it's objectively wrong, no matter who you are or where you come from, because it transcends opinion. Do you think, last question, I appreciate your clarity on this, do you see how your view could result in a lot of dead people?
Well, I don't think my view is really I'm not making a claim that we should behave in a way.
No, you're making claims.
Well, I am making claims, yeah, but I'm not making a claim that, like, we should behave in a certain way, or, like, that we ought to, like, you know, not have Christianity or some kind of
No, I'm not saying
code.
that, but let me play this out, and I think you'll understand.
No, I understand, because you're going to say, well, there's all these bad things that could happen if people follow me.
Or that did happen. No, I'm not following you. If your view becomes a view of a country, and, for example, putting 1,000 Jews in a gas chamber is not deemed as objectively wrong, transcendent above anyone's opinion, then all of a sudden, what would prevent that evil thing from occurring and nobody questioning it?
This is the moment the entire audience leans forward. Charlie is calm, focused, surgical. He doesn't yell. He just walks the student step by step to a horrifying conclusion. Without objective morality, the Holocaust becomes a matter of opinion. That's not just a loss in a debate. It's an ethical implosion. And the student knows it.
Sure. So my main idea, I guess, with the worldview is I'm not making a claim again about how things should be. I'm making a claim that this is how things are. So within my, like, worldview, this is all fine. You can have people agreeing that things are wrong. Generally, I think most people's moral intuitions will lead them to thinking that things like murder is wrong and stealing is wrong, because it makes you feel bad, right?
No, well,
if I see somebody get hurt, that makes me feel bad. If you see somebody die, that makes you
totally.
feel bad.
Yeah, the SS guards didn't feel bad when they killed Jews, and that's okay. But do you see where this might unravel into mass murder and societal chaos.
Yeah, that happens in the real world. I'm making a description about the way people derive their morals. I'm not saying how we should or shouldn't. I'm saying this is how you just derive your morals. If you have two books there, the trueness or correspondence with reality has anything to do with your preference towards, one moral system or another.
Hold on. Or maybe the true one says, don't gas the Jews.
That would be,
murder,
that would be obviously,
because God will judge you harshly.
This is what moral relativism sounds like in real life. Chaos wrapped in calmness. The student doesn't want genocide, but his worldview can't condemn it. That's the danger. And Charlie exposes it without ever losing his cool. In fact, the calmer he is, the more devastating it gets.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe just hear me out. Maybe the true one says that life is good and that there is a creator who loves you.
But
maybe,
now what you're doing is you're just making claims about what you think. Yeah, obviously it would be awesome if I had a moral code that everyone had to follow that agreed with
I know,
things
if
that
only
I said.
a book existed.
Yeah, I know, if only. But my entire
if only
point
there
is
was
that
this
all the
amazing
things
book.
Yeah, but my point is that
No,
all the
you're
things
being super clear. I appreciate
Okay,
it.
yeah.
No, and you're the first person ever, to your credit, to answer the atheist Nazi question clearly, which is that an atheist cannot objectively say that the Holocaust was wrong.
I'm arguing against objective, the idea that...
No, you're being... Usually there's some withering there. You went right into there.
Well, yeah, I can't go in here and, not bite the bullets of, what my argument implies.
We have clarity but not agreement. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Let's break down what just happened. This wasn't just a philosophical discussion. It was a real-time exposure of how fragile secular morality is when pressed. The student started strong, confident, articulate, even brave for standing there. But what Charlie Kirk revealed is that when you reject objective morality, you don't get freedom. You get incoherence. No moral certainty. No universal evil. No reason not to repeat history's worst crimes. And the student? He admitted it all. He said the Holocaust was wrong, but only in his opinion. Think about that. When genocide becomes a vibe check, we are in trouble. Charlie didn't just win the argument. He exposed what's at stake. Without a fixed moral compass, society isn't just misguided, it's dangerous. And yet he stayed calm. No shouting, no theatrics, just truth, logic, and conviction. That's why this wasn't a debate. It was a masterclass in dismantling moral relativism, and a reminder that some things are good, evil, true, false, and worth defending. If you liked this video, then please like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments. Have a great day, and see you in the next one.